Welcome back to yet another video. Today's topic is about how you can become a senior Java developer. For this video is about for the people watching or attending any interviews with respect to senior Java developer. Also, this will be helpful for any developer, whether he is a junior or experienced. Okay, so it will be very helpful. Please watch it. I've just added the roadmap where what all things to be learned. Okay, which can be helpful in your career in your terms of growing your salary, career, communication, and also the skills, right, or the technical skills basically, right? So let's, without wasting our time, let's begin the video. Okay, so the very first thing about when it comes about senior Java developer, right? So basically, this would be around in the range of it can be from 3-4 years to up to 12 years, right? So 12, 14, right? So this can be the range. So there is no fixed, I would say, uh, years of experience, but yeah, this can be the range. And also people who have just started freshers, right, they have experience from 0 to 2-3 years, right, then stay in the company, right? So this is for the people who are specifically not restricted, but I would say most probably I would like to dedicate this video for the how you can become a senior Java developer. Okay, so becoming a senior Java developer requires a combination of a deep technical expertise, because over the years you have been working in multiple companies, multiple projects, right? And you work with different managers, team, client, right? So you gain expertise the technical things, and you keep learning as you work on the projects, different methodologies, and then a different team you work with, you learn something from them, right? You get extensive experience from the other people, communicating with them, how they are coding standards, right? Learn, and you get trained yourself, you acquire the soft skills, right? So I've just added the roadmaps so that it will be helpful for you, and it will be a guide for you to this particular process of transitioning from a fresher or a junior developer to a senior developer. It can be anything, right? So it can be a principal engineer, which are overall experience till many years, right? So this will be overall helpful to all the people. Now, when I say Java developer, and also when it comes, we add senior as an before it, right? So it means that you need to hold a command on Java, right? You have to master the basics of Java, right? So right from you take it as in any field or any subject, right? You gain expertise by expertising or learning the basics of it, right? Because if your basics are strong, you can do anything, right? So that's what matters, because not just learning for the learning purpose, you have the practical, theoretical as well as the practical knowledge, you are able to implement it right in a efficient manner. That will be have a solid foundation when it comes to Java, right? So the topics which basically when it comes to covering up the Java fundamentals, right? So it's core Java principles like OPS principle, dry principle, solid principles, syntaxes, loop, exception handling, right, etc. Now there are data structures which you see list, map, queue, set. There are concurrent APIs, implementation. There are binary tree and other stuff, right? So collection framework. There are list implementation, map implementation, queue implementations, right? Set implementations, right? Uh, Nowadays, concurrency API has come up, right? Multi-threading and concurrency API was introduced, right? You can deal with multiple multi-threading environments, input and output streams, dealing with streams, you're dealing with files, opening files, closing the files, right? String, right? Any other things, right? Excel and other stuff, right? And generics and annotations, if you see nowadays, if you see the trend and also the latest tech stack, what we are majorly dealing with annotations, right? So it plays a very vital role. If you cover up any frameworks, any latest version, also if you see a lot of annotations oriented development is happening, where you do that and then simply it will work like a magic, right? So Java 8 features are there. From there till like n number of features has been added till 23, right? Lambda expression, stream, API, functional module, then other stuff, right? So make sure you cover up every basics, and also have a hands on it, right? So that you are not only just learning it, there are different ways to practice it. There are different platforms, right, where you can not only learn it, you can also test it, right? So try different platforms, try to add some practical exercises or programs, right? There are some challenges. So I've also uploaded a couple of videos which were kind of problem which are given by the interviewer, that to solve them, right? Interview coding questions basically, right? You have certain resources, like you can read books, right? Effective Java by Joshua, this is one of the important books when it comes to Java, right? Head first is there. There are many book, right? Java complete reference or any other. There are online tutorials as well, where you like some people doesn't like reading, but they wanted to get the gain knowledge and speed up, right? So now as per the demand is going online, on demand videos are much more in demand, right? So Oracle Java tutorials, the code academy is there, Udemy is there, right? So online materials, video materials, right? This will helpful for you to learn and cover the basics, right? Now once you are pretty strong and pretty cover up with the practicals as well as the fundamental and the technical, right, knowledge of it, right? So you can gain the advanced concept. Now moving from basics to advanced is quite important, and also you need to be quite proficient in it to be learning the advanced feature, right? So like JVM internals, like how garbage collection works, how class loader works, how memory management is happening internally, how to do performance optimization. There are design patterns which are creational, behavioral, structural, how to use them, when to use them, how to apply them, how does the structure of it, right? Reflection API, dynamic proxy, serialization and deserialization process, advanced multi-threading like thread pools, executor framework, logs, right? Multiple modules like which was introduced in Java 9. You take it from Java 8 till Java 23, right? There are advanced features has been introduced, right? Switch and other related changes, right? So this is quite important. Okay, so make sure along with the basics, and the first step is basics, then the second step I would say is going to the advanced topics. Now restricting only to the Java versions would not work out. You have to deal with different frameworks which are available, which will ease your development or also make your life easy, and also which will keep you updated with the latest market trend which is happening, and how companies are shifting from the core technologies by making use of the other library and framework to achieve common business value to the clients, so that you are as per the industry standard which are across used across the organization, right, as the clients, I would say. So one of them is the three frameworks I would mention is that Spring framework, right? This is one of the uh, go to framework, I would say, and must, I would say, every Java developer should know about. So Spring Core, Spring Boot, microservices when it comes to dealing with microservices, right? So Spring MVC, Spring Data JPA, Spring Security, right? Hibernate, Apache Maven, which is a build tool, Gradle, right? Build tools, right? So you have this particular gain this knowledge and also have the practical knowledge on it, so that when the opportunity comes, you are ready with the knowledge, right set of knowledge, and also you can gain your knowledge, right? So uh, communicate, network, and then start learning those things, right? Cover up your basics, as I mentioned, and explore new frameworks, technologies, tools, right? So which will give you an edge over the other developer. And also you must have seen, like, out of 10 to 20 developers, certain people are shortlisted because they have certain skill set, they have work, they have experience, they have right set of knowledge, they have worked on the right set of tools and the latest versions, right? So that makes a difference, I would say. Okay. You have to gain proficiency in the software development, right? So I would say it is very crucial, right? So try to learn the not only the core uh, platform or the language, right? So the tools and the development tools which are revolving around, or which will make your life as a software developer, you have to deal with multiple things when you're working under the project team or a company organization, right? You have various tools to deal with, and then also which will make your life easy when it comes to code reviewing, we are committing the code, or where certain team is working as a collaborative, one team is sitting US and one team sitting is in India, right? Which will give you more control, and also a pretty standard process is defined in it. Okay. So make sure you use this particular version control system like GitHub, GitLab, right? There are certain build tools which we can make use of, like Maven and Gradle, which will make your deployment easy, building the jar war files quite easy, right? Otherwise it used to be a manual process to make that particular jar or war file, right? And IDs, this is one of the important, I would say, choosing a right ID plays an important role. And various plugins are there to help you, like Sonar plugins are there, coding, refactorings, textiles, lot of them, right? Which will ease your development. Okay. And as I mentioned, IntelliJ is there, Eclipse is there, NetBeans is there, Visual Studio Code is there, many of them are there, right? So testing framework, this is quite important. After your development life cycle, the developer has to do the unit testing. So he has to use the frameworks which are available, whether what kind of testing are you doing, unit testing, behavioral testing, integration testing, right? So JUnit, Mockito, Selenium, X-Ray, there are different tools, I would say, or frameworks which are available, so that you can make use of. Now CI/CD tools, so this is then like Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Podman, right? These are the platforms, or I would say the tools which are used for right from once you commit the code to deploying in the environment and testing it or making your application up, right? With the same set of tools, Java environment, so that your application works in every platform or every machine where it is run, right? So it ensures that. Now, there are certain monitoring tools like App Dynamics, Prometheus, Grafana. There are different Eternity, right? So there are different monitoring tools to monitor how the application is working, how the servers are running, how the load of system has been happening, how the request is moving from the front end to the back end up to the database, right? How many requests has come, which server is performing or has got a crunch, right? Those all details are mentioned here. So make sure you gain this proficiency. Now, uh, so far we have talked about only the, I would say, the other aspect, but here we are talking about the database management part. So you have to master that as well, because uh, I would say a minimum 40% of your development would deal with around, no, or sometime it may be more than that, but you have to deal with the databases, whether it is SQL, whether it is no SQL, but you need to have that particular skills to, or to grasp, or I would say make your code that efficient, so that data is available on right on demand, right? So you have to be very quick, and it has to be handled in a very atomic manner, where you will have to deal with transactions, right? Multiple millions of transactions, you can scale it up, right? There are different features when it comes to the data is loaded, right, where you can share that particular database, right? So SQL database, like there are n number of databases, as I said. MySQL is there, PostgreSQL, Oracle, right? Then NoSQL is there, databases, right, which are Mongo, Redis, Cassandra. There are n number of them. Frameworks which we use is like JP or Hibernate to deal with the SQL or non-SQL, right? Database designing, indexing, optimization, triggers, store procedure functions, etc. Right? There are different ways to deal with optimization of the SQL queries, optimizing certain joins, queries, and using optimizing the where conditions. Right? This will have to master it. Right? So not only the front end development, the database development is also quite important, because it plays an important role to get that data as well. Now you have to develop a expertise in microservices and distributed system. Now why I would say is that, because I would say 70 to 80% of the systems running, or the applications running throughout the world, are now on microservices. They have been migrated from the monolith to the microservices and cloud platforms, right? So now you see every application has been modernized or restructured or refactored to the latest technologies along, by making use of the microservices, right? So you are dealing with restructuring, and then applying the cloud technologies, right? So the architecture has been evolving. You have a better ways to handle your application, and also the load, right? So at the enterprise level, at the core level, right? So it's you're developing applications, you're modernizing the applications, you're dealing with different sectors like BFSI, telecom. You are dealing with lot of just consumer data, right? And you're playing around. So it's quite important that a right system is developed, quite efficient, improved version, and also scalable, reliable systems applications are available, so that your end users are able to use that application flawlessly, right? So the topics to covers are, right, you have to learn how to write a REST API, how to deal with, how to structure it, how to write it, and then we have to use GraphQL, which is the latest way to deal with only what data is required, right? GPRC for inter-service communication, event-driven architecture, like Kafka, RabbitMQ. There are different providers, I would say. API gateway like Zool, Spring Cloud Gateway, Console, and other stuff, right? So if you go with the AWS, there are different cloud, right? API gateway, there are service discovery, right? So a lot of them, the design patterns which are applicable, right? Which we can make use of, right? History is used up. There are different of them, right? So circuit breaker pattern, right? Many of them. So gain knowledge, the microservices, get yourself expertise in that, so that when you're dealing with inter-service communication, you have to deal with certain, I mean, when it comes to microservices, right, there it has got both advantages and disadvantages, right? That it has got some overheads, right? You should be able to deal with that particular situations as well. Now learning cloud technologies, you must have heard of. People as of now are not particularly investing on the hardwares much, right? They are shifting from the in-person infrastructure to the cloud infrastructure, right? So it's very modern way of developing the applications, dealing with scaling, reliability, right? So a lot of things are taken care when it gives an advantage when you're dealing with cloud infrastructure, right? So the providers like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, many of them, right? This provide the services which we can make use and take advantage of. Cloud native tools like Docker, Kubernetes, right? Podman, serverless technologies like for computing, right? So AWS Lambda is there, Azure functions are there, right? So take advantage, so that it will give you an edge, and also people having this particular skills are more in demand. DevOps is one of the important aspects when it comes to, like, development, then testing, and then DevOps, right? How do you deal with the DevOps team, right? So there are CID pipelines, right? CID CD. Infrastructure as a code that is called ISC, like Terraform, right? Dockers and Kubernetes for orchestration and containerization. Monitoring tools, right? Splunk is there. A lot of other tools are there. ELK plus stack we mentioned, like Elastic, Logstack, and then Kibana, right? So these are the things actually which are required when it comes to working as an closely with the DevOps teams. Now, so far we have talked about the core concepts and the things which are required. Now, at the design level, at the system design level, the skills are required is like you have to design your application in a scalable and the maintainable, right? So uh, your design should be in such a way that it is scalable, right? So, and also it is able to take the load, the request, and other stuff, right? So making use of the object oriented design principle, low level high level design patterns, like creational, structural, behavioral, distributed design systems, practicing, like these particular patterns, or the other topics, right, what we have discussed in the lead code, right? So practicing the codes. Then you have this particular GitHub, like system design primer. You take mock interviews for systems, or attend genuine interviews or the real interview, so that you gain an experience of what kind of questions are asked in it, right? But overall, how to organize or scale that particular system, right? So that you're designing a right solution for the client, right? Now, soft skills, I would say, technical alone is not enough, I would say, when you are gaining your experience and growing your experience as a senior, right? So interpersonal skills and also are quite important, and also I would say mandatory, because when you are working in an organization, they have their own way of communications, right? And also how to deal with different client. It's a client facing role, or you have to deal with certain stakeholders, right? So you need certain leadership and mentorship skills. Effective, you have to be quite efficient in communication. You should be a problem solver, and also a quick decision maker, I would say. So people at the management level look for the people who has this particular skill set, and also uh, responsibilities are shared to them, I would say, right? Because they shows that confidence, and they shows that these people are able to deal, and able has their I mean, this particular person is able to not only work also, but he has an extra cross functional team, and also he's able to collaborate with the team. He's engaged with the team, right? And is dealing, and is also working as a team, right? So that is what actually the management looks out, and also the project as a team member we also look out, right? So code reviews and constructive feedback should be given, right? So to the developers, and also you can also learn from your seniors as well. But there is nothing that we have learned all thing, right? There are always scope to learn and also share your knowledge, right? The more you share the knowledge, you gain your experience, and also people will love to work with you. Now, uh, as you grow in your organization and the years of experience are growing, you are gaining the real world experience. You're working on multiple projects, diverse projects, different domains. You're solving certain problems, right? You're dealing with a strong portfolio of clients, right? Major giant clients, right? Which will show that you are working, and you have gained that experience, right? So that uh, you have a confidence, team has an art confidence, client has a confidence, organization trust you, right? So you have to contribute in your open source project on the GitHub, work on the freelancing projects, or participate in hackathon, so that you get practiced and then you can deal with the upcoming challenges, right? Building and showcasing some personal projects, like in the GitHub or a LinkedIn, right? This will give you uh, an extra edge on it. Now, as I mentioned, there is never end to learning. You keep learning, you stay updated, right? So technology constantly evolves, because if you have, I mean, you just witness it, right? You, in 2000 or maybe way back, right? What was the technology being used now, and what is the technology being used up? How many platforms are available? How many things are there? It has been constantly evolving. So being up with the latest trend, and also being in the trend of where the Java is going on, that you need to accustom to yourself, that you learn thing, adapt yourself to the latest features available, so that when you are also dealing in a company, or when you are trying to go for a new job search, right, it will be helpful, because people, only those peoples are hired, and also those people get promoted who are constantly investing on their self and learning new things. So I've just jotted down some resources which will helpful for you. Like you follow certain newsletters, blogs, right? Join some communities like Stack Overflow, Reddit. You attend certain conferences like Java One or a JPoint. So big as at the broader level, I have mentioned all three levels of like beginner, I would say intermediate and advanced stage, and also the expertise. But yeah, so learning core Java topics, as I mentioned, understanding some algorithm and data structure. So also learning certain frameworks, building certain REST APIs, mastering the system design and microservices, right? And also, apart from what we have learned from step, I mean this one, you have to gain certain leadership experience, team collaboration, right, mentorship, right, and team building, right? So this will put you in front of the other developers who are just coming and going and working, right? So they doesn't show that hope to the management, that this person are really working for an organization or a client and giving some value, right? So only those people stand out, I would say, and those people are only getting promoted, I would say. So look forward for it, and I hope like this video is quite helpful. And also nevertheless, like if you keep consistently putting efforts and working on the real life projects and experience, right, you will definitely get the expertise, and you will excel at that particular as an junior Java developer, right? So I hope this video is quite helpful to you. And if you I mean, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. uh, Keep watching my channel for more videos. Thank you. Thank you for watching.